Hi there, I'm Rose Jacobs for Kalkine Media, and welcome to another edition of Executive Corner Expert Talks. In this edition, I'll be shining a light on Grapple Fund Proprietary Limited, and we're sitting down with founder and CEO of Grapple Fund, Mr. Stephen Dawson. Stephen, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Now, for those at home, Grapple is an Australian non-bank business funding provider offering invoice financing solutions that allow businesses to access the money in their unpaid invoices. Grapple has built technology to make working capital financing easier and more accessible to Australian small to medium enterprises. Did I get that one right, Stephen?
You did.
Okay. Well, it sounds very interesting. So we're going to hear more about Grapple, but we're also going to be talking today about the topic of reimagining working capital for SMEs and maintaining cash flow and how this is significant to running a business smoothly. Some people say that small businesses usually face these challenges while seeking out loans. Unfortunately, these such financial problems are now being solved by this new idea of generating funds for the business. So, Stephen, leaping straight in, question one, would you say they are the most challenging issues that Australian small businesses are facing while seeking loans from the big banks? And if so, what does Grapple specifically offer such firms in this regard?
Yeah, well, Aussie SMEs, like I mentioned, I continue to be frustrated by slow processes, outdated systems and requirements that just don't meet their financing needs and ultimately just, aren't in pace with the business. And the bank's risk appetite is very low. We all know this, right? And so in order to serve the industry better, the banks do need to adopt digital platforms that mitigate the risk. And until they do that, the industry will continue to be underserved or lost, right, to the fintech market as SME owners become aware of better solutions that are out there that suit them better. Grapple really is at the forefront of that digital revolution by automating that invoice financing process with proprietary platforms, that have really been custom built for Aussie SMEs. We're also making our platforms available for licensing, right, to larger players and banks, so SMEs can get as much access as they need to this great product, and more often. And really just helping the industry as a whole upgrade the technology, right, for the times.
Yeah, I mean, it's as you've highlighted there, you've actually covered the trifecta really, because it's the complications of not having the means, the knowledge, or the time. And it's that combination that you guys you tick the box of all three.
Yeah, exactly right.
Right. And so do you have any specific sectors that you really collaborate with the most?
Yeah, I mean, our platforms were sort of purpose-built, designed to solve the inherent financing problem that faces, Aussie SMEs. And we cover platforms across selective and whole of turnover invoice financing. For these core products, we continue to kind of build relationships with brokers, top commercial brokers in the industry, while trying to educate, obviously, other brokers on the accessible market that is here. And they might not be familiar with it, but really about 70% of the deals do come from that broker network. So really, we'll kind of continue to release new tech solutions, designed to kind of simplify the business lending and sort of payments for Aussie SMEs, and continue to sort of explore licensing opportunities, with conversations, right, happening now with bigger players, because, that digital revolution is very much happening. And we want to get it, our platform in the hands of as many SMEs as possible. As far as sort of actual industries are concerned, would be particularly sort of focused on labour hire companies, manufacturers, distributors, logistics companies, and suppliers to major blue chip companies who unfortunately just don't have payment terms during their favour. So in saying that, every sector in business finance needs, are unique. So, we're trying to make our platform as flexible and as customizable as possible, just to evolve, right, with the sectors and with the businesses as they change.
Sounds very non-exclusive, and also a smart way to really cast that net nice and wide, particularly in the early days. So how can businesses really establish whether or not they need invoice financing?
Yeah, firstly, if you've identified that your business needs funding, I guess cash flow forecasting is pivotal to this. So I'd just encourage everyone to seek out professionals to help with cash flow forecasting and ensure that what sort of financing is needed for the business. And that decision has been made. to explore, say, debt-style funding over equity, because people do like to not lose ownership or control, and they go down the debt route. I would definitely say, consult with your experts on brokers, right, on the right debt solution for your business. In regards to sort of invoice financing specifically and what we do, if you're an Aussie SME, you're selling business to business and reluctant to sort of use traditional methods of financing, like property-backed loans, then invoice financing is likely suitable for your business. It's basically a form of financing that provides a line of credit against your outstanding invoices instead of waiting to get paid. And then you can use that funding to continue to grow, right, by investing in staff, ordering more stock. So if you think it might be suited and you're still unsure, feel free to reach out to our team, who'd be more than happy to give you advice on what might be the right solution for you.
Stephen, a final question for you, but the pandemic has really made us all realise just how fragile the market can be. How can businesses, especially SMEs, really keep their cash flowing through these turbulent times?
Yeah, well, I guess my first point would be the innovation, and technology means that SME owners are closer to their data than ever before, and this provides actionable insights, for owners around the clock and typically even in real time. It also provides experts and lenders with the right tools to give you quick and accessible options. So I would encourage everyone to continually dive into their data and share it, right, with experts, brokers and lenders alike, to help them make informed decisions with you about your business. Because everyone knows, right, and especially us being at the forefront of this and talking to SMEs daily, that there's peaks and troughs and seasonal fluctuations, FX variations, supply congestions, all of it. But anticipating these risks and mitigating against them is becoming easier with that data. And I guess, financing solutions are out there that, provided by Aussie tech companies like Grapple, can empower owners to improve their cash flow and sustain their business growth, through the twists and turns, right, they know are coming, or simply just empower them with additional funds to push ahead with their growth plans.
So long story short, just call you, really.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're here for that, so.
Wonderful. Well, I think a lot of people will be deciding that they do need Grapple in their lives moving forward. But Stephen, that's it for today's interview. Very grateful for your time today. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Cheers. And that's Stephen Dawson, founder and CEO of Grapple Fund. If you've missed any part of the chat, you can catch the full interview on your YouTube channel, Kalkine Media. So make sure to subscribe. Meantime, I'm Rose Jacobs, reminding you to stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.